I want to ask you today, obviously, that later on, I will ask about sort of the music industry in general. There's been mad things happening in various different aspects of that. But yeah, Ian Watkins, who you toured with, and he was killed this week in prison. This was a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah.
You had what I always remembered when you told me years ago as a strange experience with him. So he was strange. And I think people do want to know what was this guy like. But before we get into that, for those who don't know, who is Ian Watkins and what were they, Lostprophets?
Yeah, so Lostprophets were band from Wales who had like some really huge success in like mid-2000s. Had some, I think they were one of the only bands who kind of crossed over into America and like sold quite a lot of records over there. Had some huge songs, toured up to arena size thing around UK and Europe. That's what they were. Big rock band, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, they were bigger than I think people maybe realize.
Yeah.
And so when the story came out about what he'd been doing, I mean, that shocked the music world at the time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously any story of that kind of nature is going to shock people. But I think how severe it was and how gross it was, that's what kind of took everyone by like, whoa, what the hell? And obviously we toured with them for about 6 weeks, and it was abundantly clear that something was up. I guess we could get onto that if you want.
Yeah. Well, we can first, I guess, let's say what some people won't even know the story. So what,
Right.
And you can sort of paraphrase. I've got a little statement just to read out afterwards to sort of fill in gaps. Because it's so horrific, it's hard to sort of put all together. But what is your sort of memory of what he did?
I'm quite sensitive to these things, so I was quite like careful to not read into the court cases and stuff like that. But I just knew that it was 13 counts of like, PDF stuff. I don't know how. Yeah, sexual things with minors, and like a lot of like grooming fans, young fans, and slightly older fans that had kids in order to kind of get their kids involved in that stuff. So yeah. Really disgusting stuff.
It was really bad. I've got this just to give people an idea, and I've asked Josh to use words like PDF file because YouTube goes mental if you say, which is ridiculous, but that's YouTube. Take it up with YouTube, people. Ian Watkins, the former lead singer of the Welsh rock band Lostprophets, was convicted in 2013 of numerous heinous child sex offences that shocked the world with their depravity. He pleaded guilty to attempting to R and SA infants as young as 10 months old, including a baby boy and a 1-year-old girl, in conspiracy with their mothers. That's one of the maddest parts of this. Female fans he manipulated using his celebrity status. Among the worst acts, Watkins attempted to penetrate, not good, babies and things, spitting, drugging them, and all sorts of things. It's actually too much to read out most of those things. But urging mothers to do things to their daughters on Skype. Oh my God, this gets. I actually just before coming on, I said to ChatGPT, just give me a paragraph.
Yeah, that's a summary you don't ever want, really. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay. Whatever anyone's imagining, I'm not going to read the rest of it. It's like 100 times worse than that. My God. The maddest thing of this, maybe, we know there are mental people out there who do these kinds of things, but then the fact that he was able to convince so many fans.
Yeah, I don't understand that. He must just be extremely manipulative. And I guess when you have that position of power over people and you have that many super fans, you can manipulate them and groom them into doing clearly anything, because that is... But I think also drugs were involved, and he would make these mothers take drugs and get involved in drugs, and maybe that skews their mental state. I don't know, but I couldn't even imagine it, mate, to be honest. Yeah.
It's a whole subculture in music, and it stands. Have you had, which comes from the Eminem song, doesn't it? Have you had stands, obviously you wouldn't, but who were just like obsessive over you?
Not so much. No, not really. I've always been careful to keep like a professional distance from fans, even as far as if I have photos with fans. You can even see online, I've always got both my hands in
the Keanu
Reeves technique. As soon as I saw that, I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, like just to be safe. Yeah, like I've always had girlfriends, long-term girlfriends. I don't want anyone accusing me of something. So I keep my hands visible at all times, keep very professional relationship with fans. And yeah, I'm obviously nowhere near that size, so I've never really had that kind of level of fandom. But yeah, no, nothing as intense as that for sure.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about this tour then. So what led to you going on tour with the Lostprophets?
What did lead on tour? I think they were struggling to sell tickets. This was in like 2011, and that was our peak. So that we had just dropped a song. It was A-list all over Radio 1. It was clear we would be able to sell a lot more tickets for them on the tour. So we got contacted. Hey, Lostprophets want to bring you onto their tour as main support. We're like, great, cool. They're a huge band. Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump on a tour bus and go and do our first ever tour around the UK. So yeah, we jumped on a tour with them. And even from the first sound check, things were just a little bit off. Since then, I've done a lot more touring, a lot more support with other people, had people support me. And you always try and treat people like family and try and make it like fun for everyone. But it was clear that there was tension in the air amongst everyone.